Good.
Yes, we are live. What's up, gentlemen? How's it going?
Howdy.
Hanging in there.
Riley's going through it.
Yeah.
Me too,
definitely.
man.
Really? What's wrong with you?
I had a rough morning. I think it's just lack of sleep. I don't know, man. I get like this weird thing where it feels like I get like mucus in my throat and like I don't know. It's not like it clogs my throat, but it makes me cough and choke. So
Not ideal.
no, not for sleeping. You know,
I'm sorry.
not at all. Yeah. But other than that, I'm good. No, Biden wasn't in Philadelphia today, so we're good there.
Excellent. Yes. And Riley, you all right?
Yeah. I'm getting through
Maybe
it.
a few pounds lighter.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really eat until like 8:30 last night. I finally had soup, but yeah, dude, food poisoning sucks.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Oh, that's what you got? Food poisoning?
Yeah.
You're still hurt? Wow. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's a rough road.
I was dead yesterday. I don't know. It was awful.
Maybe you got a stomach flu.
Who knows? I don't know. It was bad though. I ate some carne asada nachos from a local spot, and that was bound to be my last meal.
Yeah, there's nothing worse.
Yeah. So
Well, I'm doing great.
at least one of us is.
Good to hear.
I'm pretending I am.
There you go.
Yeah, so am I.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, he's got some Guinness. Okay. All right.
Continuing the St. Patrick's Day celebration.
I didn't celebrate at all. I was dead on the couch.
I had some friends over. We had some honorary beverages.
Nice.
Fair
Some
enough.
Jameson, some Guinness.
There you go.
We did NPR with Mark Hager, and he was we had our own version of Reptile Fight Club about chondros. So
Nice.
carpet. Me and Owen represented the carpet python world, and he represented the chondro world, and I quite enjoyed it. I had fun doing it, but
I'm excited to hear that.
that'll be out Tuesday. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that was a good
Talking
time.
about green snakes on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking coffee today because I need to go to sleep, and if I drink coffee, I'm afraid I'll be up.
I thought you were immune.
I thought so too, but I don't want to take any chances because if I don't get a good night's sleep tonight, I will not be good. And,
So you can just not, and you won't have headaches.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I get that from sugar, but not from coffee. I don't know why.
Interesting.
Because I'm a sweet guy, I guess.
You're such a sweet guy, that Eric Burke.
But here we are, episode 53. I did get a cappuccino machine.
Oh,
for my
nice.
wife. So yeah, I'll be making some fancy cappuccino, or not espresso machine. See, I can't even talk. Espresso machine to make fancy cappuccino.
There you go.
Nice.
Very good. Well, I'm still just, drinking Pete's every day. My coffee situation has not changed.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that stuff that I ordered from that company in New York that has the Uganda coffee or whatever. They got so many orders that they couldn't fill them all. They got overwhelmed, so they're having to fill the orders in waves. So I've been waiting on that one.
Interesting.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
So I guess we do have I thought this topic that we had was pretty good, but Lisa Gale sent me this question, I think Tuesday, but it was in the chat, and it was, how do breeders deal with problems that arise with hatchies once they have left their care? So I think we'll dive into that. But first, I wanted to say that Garter Radio is live on all platforms. So if you want to check that out, that's up and running.
Geckato.
Geckato. You know what I'm talking about.
Come on.
Come on here.
We're talking gecko
steaks. Come on, the one with the sticky feet.
We call him Sticky Feet Pete.
Yeah. But yeah, it's me, Nipper, and Phil Wolf, basically talking about geckos. And the first one was just the introductory episode. And more to come. So
excellent.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get. Yes, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go to San Diego.
Oh yeah,
which is a total bummer. Well, I was waiting on my bonus check in order to buy the ticket, and then all of a sudden this war happened. And when I went to check the prices again, dude, it's like $1,600 to fly to San Diego.
Yeah, that's
$1,600.
That is nuts.
Jesus.
That's an Australia ticket.
Why?
I don't know.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
that's gnarly.
Yeah.
Is jet fuel expensive too right now? Apparently,
I suppose. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, I suppose. You see, the flights have been, getting up. I mean, I know it's a long flight. It's 6-hour flight, I think.
Yeah,
East Coast to West
probably.
Coast.
Yeah, I feel like 6 or 7. Yeah,
it was funny, Lucas. I was talking to Rob, and he was saying to. I guess you guys were talking about something to touch base or whatever.
Yeah.
He was saying about how you were saying Owen and Eric don't understand, or maybe it was Eric more so doesn't understand that he thinks I could just swing by.
Right.
For some reason,
San Diego.
That's
over by your way, right? Just come meet us.
That's it's like me swinging by to Pittsburgh. Sure, no problem. I'll be right there.
I could get to San Diego in 7 hours if I drove through the night with no traffic.
Yeah, that's about a Pittsburgh trip. Yeah, it's about that. About 8 hours, 6 hours.
It's almost the same as saying meet me in Mexico for me.
Okay.
Because it's right on the border almost.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I never realized how big California is.
Dude, it's
so you and Riley are close to each other, or about an hour
Sacramento is
away?
an hour north.
Okay, so you're like me and Owen. Owen's an hour west. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I promise I will polish up my geography so I can better understand.
It's all right. Just the next trip, just make it an actual Bay Area trip.
Yeah.
Free lodging. Come stay with Uncle Lucas.
There you go. You can check out all the new additions.
Yeah, I've been a bit of a crackhead lately. Since our last episode.
We can keep going if you want. We don't have to indulge in such things.
He brought it up.
Which thing? What are we talking about?
Your latest
I didn't know if
addictions.
you wanted to talk about your reason of why you're a crackhead or not.
No, we can talk about it. He's asleep in my hoodie pocket right now.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if we can. There's a little lizard in there.
Okay.
I love him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I brought home a black throat.
A black throat. So that's sort of like a savanna type
on
right?
steroids.
It's
They're
like
big.
black throat and white throat.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Varanus abigularis ionides.
Okay.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
So what size is that as an adult? 6 feet?
It's comparable to a water monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Well,
it'll be like a dog.
that's exactly right. It's a lizard dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll just, when it's big enough, I'll just let it have this room and be free. Set up multiple hotspots, little kiddie pool.
Perfect.
He'll come in, all his cages are ripped down.
There's just a hole in the floor. No!
Where did I
Another
go
hole
wrong?
in the floor because I also dropped a weight and now there's a hole under me in my snake room. There's a hole in the floor. Yeah.
Pumping iron. Yeah.
Yeah, dislocated my shoulder.
Oh, shit.
I tried to go to Nick Mutton and I didn't have the power.
That's it. No more. Oh, he's going to love hearing that.
No, I told well, he called me that same day and he was, we were talking about stuff and I was like, I have a gym question for you. He's like, oh, I get those all the time too. What did you do? It's like, don't fuck around with your shoulders. You can't do anything without a shoulder.
That's funny. I get them all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody's hitting me up all the time about questions about snakes and
the
gyms.
gym and cars.
Yeah.
That's what he posts a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I did
Well,
the
he kind of like
thing.
refabs cars just for fun. I mean, you know, what the heck? So
he's so busy, he has to have something else to do.
yeah. Well, I can relate to that. Listen, man, when you start to get our age, you got to get the shit done, you know, like there's not time to wait around, you know.
Yeah.
You might not be here the next day.
Lucas, when are you getting blue tree monitors? Never. But my friend Alex has 3. They're very cool.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, those are cool.
Macrae, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean the black throat. His name is Nelson, and yeah, it's like you say, he's like my lizard dog, and I will take good care of him. He will have all the space he needs.
Yeah.
Did you name him after Nelson Mandela?
No.
That was an awkward pause.
Oh, that was perfect.
No, actually, my girlfriend named it, and I don't know the reason. I was just like, say a name.
Nelson from The Simpsons.
We'll never know. We'll never know.
Okay.
But Riley's TikTok famous, and now Nelson got a little bit of TikTok fame.
Oh shoot.
Little Nelson head petting video got some coverage.
Yeah.
People love a lizard.
Cute little lizard,
they do.
man.
I think it's gonna be really funny to like have pictures of like him in my pocket asleep now, and then he'll be larger than me.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a good A and B comparison. And then I also got garter snakes.
That's cool.
Yeah. More manageable, less head assery.
What kind?
So right now I have 3 Florida blue stripe, the Sirtalis similis, Dixie County specific Florida blue stripe. Yeah. Got 3 of those, and it's really fun to chop up little fish and, you know, silver sides and pinkies and watch them fight each other for the food. They like getting the food out of the other snakes' mouths more than just going to the bowl. Like, they like to fight.
Well, I mean, you heard Dr. Loafman's talk about how like one really has to start it off, the rest go, and then there's that one who's the little lazy sniper.
100%. It's like the nature documentaries of like the bait balls in the ocean.
Yeah.
Like, one fish has to take the first shot before all the sharks go crazy. It's like,
it's super cool to see. Yeah. His explanation of that was brilliant because I've seen it before and it made perfect sense. I will say, I can't talk shit because I have zero focus. I've gone far off the rails. Nothing. I didn't do anything, but I'm just saying I have the worst track record to be sitting here criticizing you with, you know, me and my corn snakes and whatnot. But no, I've been obviously staring at my geckos like every waking minute that I'm here. And
how they doing? Settled in? Good?
Dude, they're awesome. They've been settled in since the moment they got here. I think that's attributable to just like doing my homework ahead of time and getting everything set up and running well ahead of time.
So what's your setup? Talk to me about your setup real quick.
So basically for raising up the babies, it's just a little glass tank with screen top, arboreal, sand on the bottom, some sticks going up, a little bit of moss down at the bottom to help collect any extra misting that I throw down in the morning. And then I feed at night, throw crickets in at night. I'm dusting the crickets with a calcium vitamin D3 supplement. They are getting full 10.0 UVB during the day, as well as a hot spot of up to about 89, 90 degrees. So they can bask pretty high up as well as retreat down to the sand and get away into the 70s. And then everything shuts off at night. So it'll get down into like the low 70s in here at night. And as soon as the lights are off, man, they are hunting. It's like they're waiting for it. Yeah, as soon as the lights are off, they're very, very aware.
Neat.
So if you throw food in before the lights are off, they don't react, but they're aware of it. And then the lights go off, and then they start hunting, and they'll let you watch them as long as you shine a light on them. They're fun. And I couldn't find a lot of research online, but I was talking to John at Jekyll's Geckos. He's the breeder that produced mine. And he said right around that 6-month mark is when you can start sort of getting an idea of their gender. And they are dimorphic. So the females will get bigger than the males and have more of a plumper body as they age. And 2 of mine are considerably larger than the one in the middle enclosure. So if I had to compare, I'd say the smaller one that I suspect is a male, he's probably 2 inches long tip to tail, but the other 2 I'd say are like 3.5 inches long already. And they're all within 2 weeks of hatching time from one another. So
very cool.
Nice.
So I might end up with 1.2 if it keeps going this way. So
oh wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Which would be sweet. Be really sweet.
Very, very cool.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one in uncharted waters, but at least yours is small.
Yeah. For now, although Nipper keeps messaging me photos of like Ciliaris and Spinageris just randomly. It's just reminding me, you need more. You need more. You need more. Yeah, me too.
Loafman's sending me some stuff too.
Oh boy.
Oh, we send you animals, not pictures?
Yeah. No, not pictures. Lake Chapala garter snakes.
Oh,
okay.
Thamnophis equus obscurus.
So,
where another water cobra?
Another water cobra. Where, like, you have a unique collection in as far as like. There's like no like is it just like you just like this thing, you're getting it, or you trying them out, or like what's your
so the Aspidites stuff and the Roughies and the Brettles, like that's, and the Jungles, that's the core,
right? That's your bread.
But then I feel like I have little branches off the main tree. It's like Colubrid land.
Yeah, man, that's cool. I'm just curious of like where your mindset is going, I guess.
My mindset, I would say my mindset is unchanged with everything except for the black throat. The black throat was like not part of my plan.
That was a hard left.
He was at work and he just gave me this look, and I was like, okay. You will be my lizard dog. I don't know. There's also just something about like with the Lasiac stuff. I don't know. There's an element of like, I always knew that I wanted to have a big lizard at some point.
Right.
Now just seemed like a good time, and this seemed like the right lizard.
Yeah, man. I mean, what the hell?
What the hell?
If you're into it, do it. There's nothing wrong with that.
It might also be just, the Ackies and the Kims give me the confidence to do legs, and maybe I'm being a fool. Going from a bicycle to a Corvette, but we'll see.
Hey, man, that's how you learn.
Yeah,
more like a unicycle to a monster truck. But...
I mean, yeah. I can't defend it, but I'm
really like the smallest to the biggest, like that.
I can't defend it, but I'm really excited about it, and I'm going to give him the best life I can.
You're gonna have a ton of fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already target training him. It took a week, and now he already associates the tennis ball on a stick with food very clearly, and he'll chase it across the room to get the food. It's great.
Eric, there is a thread. There is a thread of contiguity or whatever in Lucas's animal choices.
Okay, what is it?
I mean, you could maybe make
what is it?
Well, you could maybe make an argument and counter that like the Brettles, Roughies, and Jungles maybe don't align with this, but it seems like everything that you pick is very like visually cued in, very alert, interactive, like falsies, the Aspidites, the monitors, the indigos, the garters.
I agree with that. I like visual kind of active, responsive, smart animals. Womas aren't smart,
right?
But that's okay.
But they're responsive.
They're
Right.
quirky.
They bite.
But I don't know. I still feel like nothing has changed in terms of like what is my favorite stuff, right? Like it's Australian pythons, but there's so much cool stuff. And garter snakes are fun. Garter snakes are like they're just so different, and it's like a wolf pack in a small snake body. I don't know.
I do think that I do think I can't share the screen that you tried to send that picture. I don't know. Weird. I can't share a screen.
That's okay.
I do think that it's like you and Owen with your choices, where me and Riley, like we feel like so guilty if we add something that's outside of our wheelhouse. We have to like, or you and Owen are just like, nah, we're adding it in. I like it.
Well, I have to say too, I feel like
me and Riley are like, what have we done?
Ruined the plan. We must go back. Add more Australia.
Again, besides the black throat, I feel like my collection is a reflection of my two role models, right? So like all the colubrid stuff, that's Loafman putting cookies in my brain. And then all the Australian stuff is you, Owen, and Nick, and doing this show all the time. So
I
guess you can look at it that way. Yeah.
You know, we were talking about this yesterday when the show comes out, but we were talking about like how Morelia people, more so I would say green tree keepers, seem to just have that green tree. So they don't have any kind of experience with, you know, anything else. So it's kind of like you just assume that everything follows into what a green tree would do or whatever the reptile would be. It's almost like, you know, like if you think about like the people in Australia, right? They can't really have anything that's outside of that. So like their idea of pythons only is, for the most part, right? Aussie pythons. So like they don't necessarily I don't know, just like the whole idea of like how some of them are different, you know, like some of those island scrub pythons and stuff are can be different, you know, if you don't have that experience. And I found for me that like getting the lizards and stuff, I don't know about, I'm assuming you're like this, Lucas, and I'm assuming you're like this, Riley, but it kind of like rounds you out, you know, it I don't know.
I think
it gives you experience that you wouldn't necessarily have with a carpet python or
it's apples to oranges, right? But it tickles the same itch. Like your lizards will get you inspired to go look at your snakes, you know, and like in a different way. I don't know. I think it's just good. I think, like you said, rounded.
Yeah. And plus too, you want to be like, you know, herpetologist and all that kind of stuff. So probably would be good to have
that's the thing. I'm doing all this schoolwork, learning about how smart all these dang monitors are, and you can train them and yada 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 yada. And now I can actually like do it.
Yeah, there's something to say about, you know, personal experience about you know, that you can talk about it, you know. That's cool. All right. I don't think Owen's added anything. His roughies are breeding, you know, so
very excited about that. Yeah.
But he's been, wait, has he been good? I feel like he hasn't. Oh no, he has my Angolan python. So he has that. So he's ventured into that world. I told him it's only a matter.
He just wants ball pythons without the scrutiny.
I said it's only a matter of time before you dive into you know, let's see, what would Owen get?
Hidden Gene Woma.
Probably Hidden Gene Woma, yeah.
He would just get the Volta balls, the big ass ones.
Yeah. I was looking at these old pictures of Carpet Fest, and Owen had he had his big coastal girl Sophie at the one, and god damn was that snake fat and big. Like,
oh my god.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
crazy.
Somebody at work was trying to offer me a jungle carpet, and I was like, oh cool, how old is it? And they're like, oh, 5 years. I was like, how big? 9 feet, about this thick around. I was like, no thank you. Have fun.
Oh man.
Yeah.
It's like she likes small rabbits.
Jesus. That's
So-
insane.
So
Yeah.
so what do you guys now that you're so how's breeding season going? I guess we should get that out of the way. right?
Jungle's in the highlighter jungle is in pre-lay shed right now. So
Nice.
that worked out after I just had to doubt that it would happen, and then it happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've been locking up since Halloween.
I need a male highlighter jungle, so remember me.
How could I forget? And then Owen's Woma is a pretzel that's upside down most of the time, and she's probably going to lay around the end of the month. So
Okay.
coming up.
Cool.
Yeah.
You didn't do any
Blackheads?
Brettles this year?
Oh no, I'm still doing that.
No.
I just started. I'm 1 week back into warming them up, so I'll
Okay.
give them their first meals in a week or two.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about blackheads? How they looking?
Oh yeah, and then so I'm letting my stuff that was kind of on the fence size wise grow another year. I don't want to push it, so I didn't try
Right.
with any of the like 3-year-old animals. But the Western pair, even though it's not really like the season that we would expect to see it, I do see them locking up a lot right now, and I feel some big ass follicles in the girl. Like I feel 6 ping pong balls, ba-doom, 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 ba-doom,
Right.
when I, palpate her. So I don't know. I know when I was talking to Justin Julander about him trying to breed his Lazic Western stuff, he said maybe a year or two ago she did have big follicles. She even ovulated, or he thought she ovulated, but then she didn't lay. So I wouldn't be surprised if she reabsorbs. And
Right.
I'm not getting my hopes up, but she is building where she hasn't been all year and until a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And I haven't.
wonder
been feeding
why
her, so.
I wonder why she would reabsorb.
I don't know. I mean, that's just me trying not to get my hopes up.
Oh.
But
No. I mean, like, Justin had the same thing. I didn't know if it was like I know he's been trying to breed them forever.
Yeah, and I think Derek Roddy has posted that the stuff he has from the Lazic Western seem to only want to cycle every couple years rather than other blackheads he can make do every year. But the pair that I am working with has some of that Lazic Western line blood, but then also some of the Dick Gorgon line blood. So it's not pure Lazic. So we'll see. Who knows?
Right.
I will keep trying.
Best of luck.
Yeah, that'd
would
be
be
pretty
cool,
fun.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have Aki eggs and blackhead eggs in the incubator. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
That'd be a good year.
Absolutely.
That'd be solid.
What about you, Riley? How's your what do you get doing 15 clutches this year?
Oh God.
Well, he has to have a lot of babies to sell for his TikTok audience.
Oh God, I do not want to sell to people on TikTok. That's not an audience I want to tinker around with. Those people are.
I'm just kidding.
It's mostly kids and people who have no idea what they're talking about.
Of course.
Yeah.
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 Somehow I see Riley just crushing people on TikTok. You fucking idiot.
No, you can't boop it, and it's not cute.
I did make some video, and like for the last second of the video, if you watch it all the way to the end, it's just me and angry face. Don't poop snoots.
Well, I was laughing because
I got so many angry comments.
Yeah, people got in a fight on my video of the black throat. Someone was like, "Is that a water monitor?" And they're like, "No, you idiot, it's a frilled dragon." And I was like, "You're both wrong."
Dude, it's so good. Oh man.
God.
And then I saw some jackass comment, "What kind of ball python morph is that?" And then I realized it was
wow,
Lucas.
what an idiot. Oh yeah, it was me.
It was Lucas. I was about to be like, son of a oh, wait a minute, that's Lucas. So
But yes.
both of those tiger hets that I got from Ryan Dumas are past their post or their pre-lay shed. So it's just a couple weeks till I get eggs from both of those girls, and they were both paired to a tiger het. So
nice.
Yeah, excited for that.
What are you doing for pop ones this year?
So both of my pop one females are due to give me eggs. The first pair, she's actually due within the next week. Is that really, really dark female? So that super, super black one paired to that other male that's really, really black. And then the other pair is that really nice orange female that I got from Chris Sharp that he'd had for a while, paired to a male proven breeder that I raised up from a little farm hatched red neonate from Dan Deleri. He sired at least 2 clutches for me. So this will be his third one, just with a different female. So both of those pop ones are going. Both coastals are going. And then the jungle that I brought in from Todd is going.
I love that jungle.
That thing's insane. Insane. I underestimated how big the female jungle that I got from Travis is, the one that Nick produced. And so I fed her like the rest of them, but I think I probably should have fed her a little bit more because she's longer and a little bit girthier. So I don't think I met her caloric needs. She bred plenty, but I don't think she's going to produce. She's just a big girl. So that's it for carpets. And then let's see, the 5th. Today's the 18th, 13th. I'm like 8 or 9 days away from a Crebo clutch, and then rainbow boa litter born in June. And that's everything unless I'm surprised by anything else. So
very nice.
Yeah.
Crebo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. She's huge, and yeah, hopefully I won't screw it up this time.
I have faith.
Yeah, should be good.
And I'm still not convinced that you screwed anything up. Might have just
maybe
first clutch. Maybe it just wasn't tip top. I don't know.
Yeah, and this year I've got those Govee sensors in the incubators as well. So
love those things.
Super checking the crap out of everything, watching the averages, the highs and lows, the dew points, just the kind of average over the month and week, and that makes it a little bit easier to monitor things without stressing so much. So
I picked up 3 more of those. The ones, not the digital ones, but the ones that you can look on your phone anywhere you go, like they connect to your Wi-Fi.
Yeah, the expensive ones. So there's like there's like the $15 unit, and then there's the $30 unit. The $30 unit is the way to go.
Exactly. It's super worth it. And it like graphs it all out for you. You can export the data if you want to have like spreadsheets or whatever. Like they're so worth the money. Like the little high-end scientific data loggers that Loafman and I spent hundreds of dollars on for like university research don't even do as good a job. They're just smaller. Like the Govee thing. Yeah, the Govee thing is so much bang for your buck.
Yeah, it's you can track everything daily. You can see over the course of a week.
Yeah.
Over the course of a month.
So do you put some in cages, some outside of cages, incubators, stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can put as many units as you want to buy. So right now I've got one in each incubator. So
I've got one in the incubator, one tracking like snake room ambient, and then one tracking the ambient where my other stuff is in the kitchen. Overflow.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Can it tell you the temperature outside as well, or no?
If you put one outside, they're little sensors.
So it just reads wherever the sensor's at.
Yeah, wherever you put it.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
I know I had one of those. The one I had a type of, well, this is going back a few years, but it was like a thing, and you would put the sensor outside, so it would give you the temperature inside the room as well as outside the room, so it would sort of help me dial in what's going on. If it's like real cold outside, see the difference in the temperature.
That's cool
in the room.
You could definitely do that. I feel like as long as your Wi-Fi signal reaches wherever you're trying to stick the thing outside, you could totally do that. You can name them on your phone, so you'd be like, outdoor incubator,
right?
Yeah,
right.
It's cool. It's a good product. I feel kind of bad because like at work when I'm trying to get people set up for reptiles, they're like, how do I tell the temperature and the humidity? And there's like the Exoterra Zoomed products. I'm like, just go on Amazon and get Gobies. But I didn't tell you that.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't tell my boss.
Yeah.
As long as you guys aren't selling those little sticker gauges with a little thing that just goes like that.
Oh, they're there, but I have never told anybody that is a viable choice.
People come in and they're like, yeah, so I got the kit from Petco and and it's got the. I'm like, how are you checking temperatures?
Gauge is like 95 degrees.
I've got the little gauge on the wall that has the thing. I'm like, do me a favor, throw that out. It's crap. Get one of these.
Yeah.
What is it? 1998?
Yeah, dude.
Literally.
Dude, people still come into the shop on a damn near daily basis, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've got everything I need for the snake. They didn't have the snake I wanted, so I wanted to get one from you guys. Oh, okay. The lady at Petco said to feed it a mouse pinky once a month. I'm like, this is a ball python. What the hell? Like, dude, I don't know how many people I've had to tell, like, just literally take everything that those people have told you and forget it. Just erase it from your memory. It's trash. It's garbage. Print it out on paper. Wipe your ass with it. That's all it's good for.
Yeah. So here's a question for you guys. You're both in the retail side of the pet trade. Like, why do you think that someplace like Petco just doesn't? I mean, you would think that they would have somebody in their organization that would be able to research.
Dude, they don't care. They do not care.
I think the problem is like reptiles for them is probably not a moneymaker. It's probably, what's the term?
Right.
Eric, help me out. Loss leader.
Yeah, loss leader. There you go.
Yep, so like 100%. Why if they're gonna hire like 3 or 4 associates, like would they rather have them be able to answer every dog and cat question, for the 95% of people that come to that store? Like if you're really into reptiles, do you A, shop at Petco, and B, want to work at Petco?
Some people use it as their only way to get in the door in small towns, unfortunately.
I suppose if you don't have a better option, right?
Yeah.
But the corporate side of things, like what's their incentive to like?
Yeah. Well, and the way they look at things is like it's an annual sales goal. They look at all as like how the overall store performed. Beyond that, they don't care. Yeah. And then the people below them, they're tasked with putting together generic protocols for the cookie cutter box set of animals that these stores carry. And they print out a 1-page thing. They don't really do anything special. They make it so it's like the same bulbs across the whole shelf for chameleons, dragons, boas, pythons, whatever. They'll put chameleons in these tiny little glass cubes, roast them. And it's all the same stuff, like aspen bedding with boas. It's super dry, like all this crazy shit. And you're not allowed to change it. You're not allowed to go against the protocols. You get written up. You get in trouble. You can't correct these obviously blatant errors.
I think what's hard
in that system.
They try to make reptiles as pets like easy and accessible for everybody, but they're just not. Like, and they never will be. You can't change the animal.
The biggest failure on the industry is seeing reptiles as something that everybody can do just by bringing it home and putting it in your living room, like a dog and a cat.
And a
dog and a cat, you don't have to worry about, oh, do I have the right lights in there? Do I have enough water? Do I have enough land to water ratio? Is there enough humidity for this dog? Like, people don't do that. They're like, what dog food do I need? Do I have a leash? Good.
Right.
Like that's it. And they're trying to make it as cookie cutter as possible to bring people in because they see the industry growing. They're trying to get their slice of the pie. And that's how they do it. And they don't care.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They really don't care. It's a specialty industry, but they're like, nah, we're gonna cookie cutter like 10 things and carve out our horrible niche in this.
I guess I just look at it differently, right? Like, I don't know. Like the people, like, so like for me, I don't know if ShopRite necessarily cares about, if you sell this or that. But when I'm dealing with my customers, I want them to trust me. Like when I was when I worked in seafood, or when I cut cheese. Yeah, there you go. And when I cut cheese or cut fish or cut meat, the whole idea is that those customers are coming in and they're going to trust you, and you're going to learn their taste or whatever, if you will, and say, oh yeah, we got this, this really cool Parmigiano Reggiano. You should try it on your spaghetti tonight. It's going to be delicious. I promise,
Did they, kind of when customers asked you like, oh, when did this fish come in? Did they force you to say, this morning, just got it out of the box?
Well, see, I guess that's maybe that's the difference with ShopRite. Like I would never tell somebody that, I would tell them that would be okay, but I wouldn't say that it came in today if it didn't. I never did that.
Yeah, see, that's it sounds like
I could see like somewhere like or like, I guess, what are they? Like Walmart or something like that, like a big company like that where you don't have,
they don't want you to rock the boat. They want their cookie cutter. Everything's this and that, and they don't want to
sell the damn fish.
Yeah,
sell that damn
exactly.
Fish.
Exactly.
Yeah. Fish is easy to sell when it doesn't look like shit.
Yeah.
But it only looks good for about 3 days if you take care of it.
See, that's a rule I had. If I had fish, it didn't stay there more than 3 days. That was it. The third day, it's gone. It's out.
That's what I really liked about working in seafood. It's so easy to tell when somebody's bullshitting you. It's like,
yes,
the bloodline turns brown.
Yeah.
Anyway,
gnarly.
Off track.
Yeah, and that's where specialty shops like East Bay Vivarium and GX3 and all the other places carve out the lion's share of the retail industry where they can, because people recognize that these are folks that live and breathe that, and that they're going to take care of them.
I guess where I can't wrap my brain around when it comes to that is, right, you would think that something like Petco or PetSmart or something like that, they realize that, again, maybe it's not as big of a niche as like, dogs and cats. I get that. But like you're taking business from them. Your store is taking business from them, and like they're not going to come and get the crickets, and they're not going to come and get the frozen mice, and they're not going to do those things. So why wouldn't they try to up that game, especially with the way reptiles seem to be progressing?
Yeah, I mean, maybe they will. Maybe it'll be a delayed reaction sort of thing, and maybe in 5 years their reptile departments will be much bigger. But
then it will be too late, because you guys will gain the trust of that customer. You know what I mean?
I sure should hope so.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's sad at the same time, though. It's sad because, like, I understand that in some of these smaller areas, that is the only option you get.
Yeah.
And it's sad that people have to go through a generally horrific first experience of getting a bearded dragon that was going to die the moment they.
How many people got turned off, like, just because they were set up to fail and then decided that reptiles weren't for them, or that they couldn't do it?
Yeah. I get traumatized families that come in all the time, and they're like literally on the verge of trying to like keep their kid from having like an emotional meltdown and them freaking out because they killed something. And then they're like financially invested in it beyond the familial stuff, and they're just like, everybody's freaking out at that moment, and all you got to do is just like generally tell them like, it's okay, you didn't do anything wrong, here, let me fix it. And then they're just like, oh my gosh, and you've won them over at that point. So it's just it's a slow game, and I just think there's so many people in there that you're never going to reach everyone. So I don't know, I don't think those corporations give a shit personally.
Well, most don't.
It's not their bread and butter.
If the contract's getting paid,
caring for people, overrated.
Yeah. Which and then that sort of leads us into what we were talking about, right? That was gonna that's a nice little segue into dealing with
because now your breeding business is sort of your personal business, and you definitely have control over that now. So the question was, how do breeders deal with problems that arise with hatchies once they've left their care?
Right. Well, before we get into answering it, what do you think Petco and PetSmart do? Like, just for example, I think they have a 7-day like live animal health guarantee or something like that. and within those 7 days, if your animal dies, you can just return it to them or something. I'm not sure how they do it, but
swap it out.
Yeah.
I kind of remember. I don't know if this is just exclusive to PA, but I kind of remember Petco would make you sign something that said that if you know, it basically was like a contract that they wouldn't take it back if you didn't do X, Y, Z, you know, blah, blah, blah. And if the animal died after this time frame, and it really was, I want to say it was shorter than that. It was like maybe 3 days or something.
Okay.
You know?
Interesting.
So, I don't know that for a fact, but that's, you know, kind of
wouldn't surprise me. I'll have to ask. I know a couple people that work at like, there's a local Pet Supplies Plus that's in town, and they send all their enthusiastic reptile folks our way, and so we've kind of made good relationships with them. So I'll have to ask.
My experience with this question has always been, I try to, and it's probably because of my job, but like my company has always been focused on just customer service. And if that means that somebody comes in and they're complaining, like, here's an example. The other day, this guy got a big pack of pork chops, and for some reason they fell out of the bag into the car. And when his wife went to cook the pork chops, she's like, "Where's the pork chops?" He's like, "Oh shit, what do you mean, where's the pork chops?" So then I guess they found them in the car because they slid under the thing, but they were in there for, you know, I don't know, 7 hours or something like that. So at this point, they're no good, right? So he comes in, and I just basically said to him, like, "Look, I'm going to give you a replacement pork chop thing because you're a good customer, but you got to understand
but that's your fault, bro.
I can't like keep replacing pork chops because you drop them in your car, you know." It's like, and that's how I would kind of approach that kind of, you know, to me, your reputation is worth more than
100%.
the value of whatever snake it would be. Now, that being said, if you're doing this for a living, you probably don't have that same cushion. You know what I mean? Like if this is your income and now you have to sort of, you know, give away the money you were going to pay your phone bill with, it might be trouble. So I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like, okay.
Yeah, go for it.
I mean, for me personally, like, obviously I'm new at all this. Like, I'm only 1 season deep into producing and selling reptiles, but it's been a priority for me to make myself available to anybody that, you know, takes the chance to buy an animal from me and, you know, puts that trust in me as you know, a quality animal from an honest breeder. Like if there's any questions or issues or something, like, I think that when you buy a snake from me, I consider that part of what you're paying for is my advice for whatever that's worth, or, you know, just somebody to bounce ideas off of. Like, I'm always happy to be that person, because when I was first getting into it, that's what Nick did for me. And it made everything so much easier and got me on the right track in so many ways. And, you know, if he had just blown me off, it would have been a much different trajectory. But in terms of things going wrong, I think you always have to try to, you know, make it right. Like if we're talking about, obviously there's layers to that, right? You know, if it's something that is your fault, then yeah, for sure, you gotta own that. You gotta make that right. If it's something that's not your fault, but maybe you have insight into, then help them out, you know, give them some tips. I talked to somebody this morning that I sold Brettles to, who got a pair. They distinctly, you know, were looking for animals with good personalities, like that breeding isn't like their primary thing. They wanted friendly, docile Brettles pets, right? And so I was more than happy to, at the time, go through all the babies that I had here and pick out the ones that didn't bite me when I wiggled my little fingers in front of their face. And, you know, some people aren't willing to do that. Like, I don't have a problem with that. But then I you know, I'm on the phone with them because for whatever reason, the plane trip pissed the male off, and apparently the male's just biting left and right. And I, you know, that's not my experience with that animal. My guess is it's going to calm down when it settles in, when it gets a little bit more size. But I said, if
Right.
it doesn't, I know how important this is for you, that, you know, you were looking just for a snake that can be a good pet and it's not going to bite you. So like, what, you know, if it doesn't calm down, you know, we'll swap it out. I'll get you a friendly one. But
right.
I don't know. I understand how it can get tricky at scale. But as long as I'm able to do these kinds of things, and I will, I guess. I don't know. I want people to be happy. It's a lot of money.
I agree.
Yeah, I think the balance is probably the people that try to take advantage, you know. But
yeah, you can always tell when
there's that
trying.
too. But
yeah,
you can tell when somebody's trying to take advantage of you, usually within the first little bit of conversation.
Right.
Yeah, 100%. What's your thoughts, Riley?
I think I probably align pretty closely, if not almost the same as Lucas. I try to always do as much as I can, even if, like, in the back of my mind, I'm, God damn it, more pictures, really? But you bet your ass I'm going to take those pictures for you. Now, if I'm super busy, I try not to even read the message, because I don't want you to think like I'm leaving you on read and then not doing anything. That's kind of like my own personal accountability. Yeah. But if I do, I'll let you know, like, hey, I'm at work or whatever. Okay, you want when I'm at home and can photograph the animal or something like that. So I definitely try to do that. And to Lucas's point, I actually did have a customer a few years ago. Actually, she's a friend. I feel bad using that word customer. She's a friend. I went through the trouble to tame down the nicest baby of this one clutch for her. It was not the nicest to begin with, but it was the one she wanted. But she was not down with a bitey animal. So I handled the shit out of that thing. And it became the sweetest animal, and she was super happy with it. And it was worth every extra ounce of effort, even though it didn't translate into more money or anything. I don't think any of us here are sitting here doing this for the money, but
no,
we're not. But even if you are, you should still do it that way, because then that person will trust you for their next pet. You know?
Yeah. And then if it's like a one-off kind of animal and there aren't replacements, it's really hard if something goes wrong. Like if the animal dies for some reason, you know, I always try and ask as many questions. You know, first things first, let me know that the animal arrived to you safely if I've shipped it. Like, that's the first hurdle. If I don't know that, then I don't know what foot we're starting out on. But the best thing I can tell somebody who's listening to this and maybe thinking about purchasing their first snake online is, if you're curious why it's so easy and relatively more affordable to just get something at a show or at a shop as opposed to buying something online, is because when you buy from somebody like any of us here, you're not just getting the animal, you're getting like constant access to us, and help and information and coaching and guidance within reason. You know, like anybody who's bought a snake for me, and I even do it for people who don't buy snakes for me, just because, like, I don't want to be that guy that says, fuck off, you haven't spent money with me. That's not why I do it. I'll always bend over backwards to give people help, but just like, it's the best thing to be able to be available to somebody if they have a little hurdle and you work through it, and they come out on the other end and they realize, we just had to figure this out. It just needed X, Y, and Z, or just needed time. And at the end of it, they're singing your praises. They're super happy. They've got the animal they wanted. And chances are, if they want another snake, or they know somebody who does, they're going to send them your direction. So, and at the end of the day, that's building the community.
Right.
That's been the most profound thing for me lately, is how many new people are getting into carpets and finding about this community and branching out and getting into stuff. And those are the people you got to take good care of. I mean, you should take good care of everyone, but you know, the new people that are potentially bigger voices in other circles, they're going to spread the good or the bad about the Morelia world if they have a good or bad experience while they're branching out. So
100%. Yeah.
Like at the shop, we try to do everything possible. Like, we have a big thing on the counter that says all animal sales are final. Make sure you do your research. Here's a website we recommend. And then before they even get to bringing the animal to the register, my team and myself, we all have my boss's support to vet them in a polite way as possible, and really encourage or discourage them from making a good or a bad choice. We sell baby sulcatas in store. is one of the biggest thing I discourage people from buying. Yet we still sell plenty because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, the people looking for them are not fit. But most of the time, you tell them the right talking points and things like that.
My son wants a turtle.
Yeah, and then 5 minutes in, if you know this and you're prepared for this, you can without telling them this is a bad idea, they'll reach that conclusion on their own.
100%.
And then, once in a blue moon, somebody convinces you, and then it doesn't go that well, right? Mm-hmm. We had a family come in, and they bought a veiled chameleon juvenile from us. It was a few months old, pretty well established, doing very well. Talked them through the whole setup. In fact, my boss talked them through the whole setup. Mm-hmm. And they got the animal, they got all the stuff, they had a few things from another place, and they just put it together. And then 2 days later, they're emailing us saying it's dead and this and that. And turns out they put like some terrestrial lizard hide on the ground that was unnecessary. They lined the floor with moss that zapped all the moisture. This thing couldn't drink. It couldn't get warm enough. A few little subtle details they just didn't pick up on.
Right.
But animal sales are final. So, it's kind of hard. But my boss and I were like, send us photos. We'll work with you. We want to help you out. And so we're like, look, we'll give you a new chameleon. Just change these couple things and pull this out. And if you just add this little tray to the bottom, don't have any substrate in there, so water can sit on hard plastic so they can go down and drink, and just a couple things that we do in the shop, we'll give you the chameleon. Like, no problem. And they came and returned everything and said, no, we're good. And sometimes sometimes you just can't please everyone. But, it is what it is. You just have to be prepared that, like, for me, I'm a pleaser. I'm a people pleaser when it comes to work. I don't like people leaving the shop pissed off or upset or bad things happening to the animals or the people in the shop. So
sure.
Any way we can, we try to fix it. And it's usually
that's true. I've witnessed this. It's like there was one day that I was working out there with you, and there was like that entire 300-pound each biker gang, and the one dude was like looking at the turtle filter. He dropped it and it shattered, and I was like, oh, is Riley gonna go off on this guy? And no, you're totally just like, well, that was the last filter we have, and you broke it. But, is there anything else we could do for you? And I was like, he's a better man than me.
That guy came back a month or two later, actually, with his whole family
exactly
again.
what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. That's the other thing. Like, we remember you.
Yeah.
We remember you. Not always. But usually we remember you.
Have to ban a customer at East Bay because he habitually exchanged adult boas after 3 to 4 week period. So at one point he had bought one, but then he just kept bringing him back and finding an excuse to say he needed to switch it for another one. Oh, it bit me. Oh, I think this one has an RI. You sold me a sick snake. And after 4 or 5 exchanges with completely healthy animals, it was, I don't know what he was doing. I don't know what that complex was all about, but we had to say, here's your money back. We're not going to play. You have had all of our boas. Thank you for coming in.
Right. You've had them all.
Yeah,
that's tough.
Yeah, I think if you're selling personally, I think that Owen's sort of the one that turned me on to this. Is he had this terms on his website.
Yeah, I copied his,
and I copied it and I put it on my website.
Yeah,
I might have a slightly revised, simplified version of his and Nick Mutton's or something like that mashed together. Same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's there just to cover your ass. I've had situations where, I had a situation where somebody got an Exantic. I don't know if it was head Exantic or Exantic carpet. It was an IJ, and it ended up dying. And for some reason, I think Nick had the same thing. And for whatever reason, it's just dealing with one that I sent Nick. Here I am super excited about sending Nick a snake, and I'm like, he's finally the student has become the teacher, that kind of thing. But the heart heart thing, you know, you had some kind of heart defect, and I just replaced, you know, Nick, he didn't really care too much, but you know, he was like, whatever, it happens, you know. I think for me, it's like when I'm buying a snake and I'm on the other side of it, I feel like once it's out of your care and now it's in my care and it's been that way for, you know, a few days. Well, if something all of a sudden happens, you know, besides something like a heart defect or something like that, things you can't control.
Right.
I don't know. I wouldn't even ask the person to replace it.
Yeah, me neither. After the snake's been with me overnight, that's on me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, who's to say it didn't come in and instantly become introduced to some sort of vector or parasite I'm not aware of, or that it's never been exposed to, and it just instantly crashes. The stress of shipping, being immunosuppressed, comes in somewhere and all of a sudden hits with this crazy bacteria it's never encountered before because it doesn't exist in Philly or something like that. Like, who knows? It could literally be that simple. I've seen crazier shit in my time in zoos. So at this point, like, that's why it's
happen. And
it does.
Like it gets ugly because people are like, he gave me Nido, you know, but like maybe not. Like
yeah, and that's the thing. Like you just, even with necropsies and things, you can't be sure. Like, you really can't say shit. So for me, like, if it's a one-off, one-of-a-kind animal, first thing for me is, if you've sent me money electronically, I hold it until you've gotten the animal and that you're like, it's here, it's good, you know, like no issues, then I'm okay taking the money out. But if it shows up and it's dead, I don't want to have to do a bunch of transactions. I'd rather just refund. If it's a one-off animal that I can't replace, I'd rather do right by you. If it's something, so for when I had my first litter of rainbow boas, that was 36 babies, right? For one reason, I wasn't going to put all 36 up for sale at the same time because that was just heinous. I instantly realized that would have been a bad idea. So I did them in lots. I did like 10 or a dozen at a time. And I ended up selling most of them. Was sitting on like a couple pairs left. And I think
that's a good idea, by the way.
Yeah. One or two people had like issues, like one animal regurgitated and died. And like I had one die in shipping or something like that. And it was no sweat. I was able to refund them right away. And send them a replacement animal. So with things like that, where, you know, I'm only producing one phenotype, but it's a bunch of them, that's kind of how I avoid that issue and putting myself in a bad corner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, like selling them in batches. That's
I mean,
a good call.
I do it like that just because I know for me, I'm going to mix some shit up. If I've got like 12 conversations going on at once on Morph Market, trying to sell 12 different snakes and ship them all at once, I'm going to screw something up, and I don't want to do that. So,
yeah, I think the problem with that too is like we all have day jobs, you know, so like if we're selling snakes, it's like extra. And if you're working like 60 hours a week, you know, it can be quite the challenge to I didn't like it at all, you know, like 12 clutches, that was just too much.
Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot. You went hard that year.
Yeah, this is just too much. It broke me.
Never recovered.
It broke me.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how this season goes, because 5 carpet clutches and a Crebo clutch, like literally all at the same time, and then rainbows drop as soon as, like, oh God damn it, what did I do? And I was aiming for more.
I only have crazy 4.4 Brettles left.
Hey, there you go. That's good.
So maybe they'll all be gone before new eggs happen.
Yeah,
it's always the game plan.
Yeah, it's that's one thing that takes up a ton of my time when it comes to messages, right? I get messages all the time about how to, like, with a carpet python question, and I want to be able to answer that question. And you know, sometimes it gets a little frustrating because it's like we spend all this time putting all this work into the podcast and YouTube videos, and you know, and it's like, it's right there, man.
How do you breed?
Just listen. Listen. you got to drive somewhere. Do you work out? You must do something where you're listening at some point. Like
Yeah.
I think time will be our best friend in the dissemination of that sort of digital information. But yeah, I mean, if you think about that, think about our little circle within the hobby and how small it is. So then think about within that small circle, how many people are perceived to be any sort of even minor level of credible information to reach out to, right? So you've got an even smaller portion of a small niche hobby.
Yeah.
So we're getting down exponentially to like maybe a few hundred people nationwide that, or globally, that, you know, are looked at in the greater scheme of things. My numbers could be off. I'm just pulling this out of my ass, but a very small
I'm with you.
group of people that like the average person would think to go reach out to for help based on, you know, say an hour's worth of looking into who to find out help from. And if that person happens to so reach out to you and they have a bad time or like they have a bad experience, that sits with them. It sits with me anytime I've like been an impatient jerk and then like regretted it. I know that for a fact, but like from a customer standpoint, that could really turn them off. So
yeah, and I've been surprised in some of the folks that, you know, got Brettles babies from me, you know, they would say, you know, a few of them would say like, wow, you know, thank you so much for like actually getting on the phone and like not being mad at me that I want a snake that doesn't bite. Like I asked blah, blah, blah to do that. And they basically said, fuck off, I'm too busy. You know, it's like,
right.
Who are we to be doing that kind of stuff? Like,
well, yeah, and then to be fair, don't go ask Nick Mutton to socialize your snake to make it not bitey. That dude.
I'm not saying to tell him to put work into it, but you know.
But like if you're producing hundreds of snakes, like that's kind of hard to do.
It is.
I think
you have to be reasonable. But even Nick, when I got my first Brettles, I was like, I don't want to get bit. And he was like, this one didn't bite me when I was taking the picture. So like, even that is like, that's something. It's like,
that's great. I love that response.
Said, fuck you, I'm too busy. But
that's so good. That's a great response.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick.
Yeah, I think this is I've had this happen to me multiple times. It's frustrating when you take hours of time trying to help and then they get completely ignored anyway.
Spend enough time selling on Morph Market, you will develop thick skin against that. That is all too common on Morph Market. And I think what it is I used to be like the old curmudgeon. I'd be like, you can't even say hi, and like I wouldn't, you know, I'd just be an asshole from that point on. But that's just the way it is, man. Digital communication. I mean, look at the music this generation is listening to. They don't even sing in full sentences and like eloquate, you know. Yeah, they don't even pronounce the syllables and shit. They just kind of go, bleh, and that's like a word.
See,
it means something, and that's how they communicate.
The problem with my generation looking at something like that is it feels like, you know, that somehow
disrespectful. Yeah, we
lost control of how people are supposed to act in polite society. You know what I mean? Like,
couldn't agree more, man.
We were raised to be this way. Why the hell are you not raised to be this way? And it's like, I'm not talking about like, you know, I get it. Everybody has different things, and you know, probably the family structure in the world is probably shit anyway. But that's for a whole nother podcast show.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel that like, it's like, no, I had to be respectful to people, and that's the right way to be. You
Absolutely.
know, and you know, like just be respectful. I find it's not so much the whole like, yo, how much is snake? Like that kind of thing. It's not even that it bothers me. It's just like, how did you find me? And if you did, you must have Googled something about carpet pythons. You must have seen that there's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I would never talk to somebody like Keith McPeak or Justin or, you know, Nick or anybody that I like look up to that way. Like, you know, even before I even knew him, like I don't know.
100%.
I guess I'm
with
old,
you.
man.
I
I'm
sass
100% with you.
people. I don't take that in retail, and I've been doing retail for a long time. But it's like, like the hi, how are you today? Small rat. Hi, how are you today?
Yeah, dude, I hate that shit. I hate that shit.
But here, that's
I
a perfect
find that
example.
it's like 50% young people, but also old people.
Old people
like
too.
A lot of old women, old ladies that just like are
100%,
like, man, let me talk to you. It's like, hi, how are you today? Crickets. Let's try again.
I have it with people that people that work for me. I walk in the morning and, like one of the biggest complaints that you always get is that the boss doesn't say hello. Right. And I will like stop and talk to like, if somebody tells me that, like the day before, right. One of the girls, she had to leave because her kid, they had to rush to go grab her kid and had to go and pick him up from school. And she was all in tears and whatever, and like, when she came in the next day, my first question was, hey, good morning. How's your son doing?
Right.
Right. To me, that just goes so much further. That little tiny statement just shows that like, oh, I actually do kind of care about what's going on with you.
You
How
are a
you
human
doing?
like me.
Right.
Not just a worker ant. Yeah.
And I think that's what it comes down to, right? It's like when you say hello to somebody and you're engaging with somebody in the public and you're going to choose to, and I guess the internet is our new public forum as well. It's like I don't know. It's just straight up rude just to not be like, I don't know.
I'm with you 100%.
Pet peeve.
You can tell who's never worked in the service industry just within the first couple minutes of them walking through the door somewhere and how they treat the staff in a place. It's absolutely telling as to who they are as a person.
That's my one rule, right? Like if you can come in, you can scream and holler at me all you want. You want to say that this is run like shit, that you never blah, blah, blah. Scream and holler all you want. But as soon as you take it to start insulting employees, where you take it to the level to where you're being ignorant or rude to associates that are trying to help you, that's it. Game over. Get out of the store. You're not. And they don't know how to react to that. They're like, I got to watch too, because in Philly, you'll get shot for doing shit like that.
Yeah, I was going to say, be careful. You've told some stories.
Yeah. But
we're gonna get you a vest.
Yeah, I'm starting to think I might need one, man. It's crazy. But I don't know. I mean, that would be my advice to people and I think here's the other thing, right? Like if you have a question about something, I am all there to talk about that question. But like kind of know what you're like, have a feeling, at least do a little bit of research so that you can sort of have a conversation. Like
100%.
Don't just like, you know what I mean? Like sort of like say, oh shit. Okay. My snake is making weird click noises in carpets, like, oh, what does it say? Oh, well, it could be this. I don't know if it's that. It could be this. No, I don't know if it's that. Oh, wait, whenever they say this, they say, check the temperatures. Oh, let me go check the temperatures. I check the temperatures. So then when you're calling and it's like, hey, Riley, hey, Lucas, I'm having this trouble with this carpet python. What should I do? The temperature is X. I checked it to make sure today. And, it's making this little click sound. And, and then you say, oh, is it in shed? Yeah, it's in shed. Yeah, that's probably what's going on. Right. Let it shed and then see what happens afterwards. Oh, okay. As opposed to
like somebody who's just looking for the answers.
Yeah.
Hasn't checked anything out.
It's like, I'm not there, so I can't see what's going on with your snake, and you can send me a zillion pictures, but I still can't see. So I'm relying on you to sort of like have an understanding of what is going on as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just kind of like a respect thing at some level. Like I listen to
you're all good.
Everything's fine. I don't know what's going on. No, but I listened to like 4 years of NPR on my own before I finally messaged Eric for the first time to ask him a question, which was, what the hell's an HCQ? But it's like, I didn't want to waste your time, and you already put out a year's worth of information for me to find,
Sure.
But,
right.
Yeah, it's like, like you say,
and
common
I
courtesy.
get it too, right? The podcast can be hard to to find that information, right? Because it could be like, I mean, let's be honest, right? In the early days of NPR, I probably still don't title them correct. You know what I mean? Like, you could have
Nick
better
Mutton's
titles
back.
in there, or like, yeah, exactly. Like,
Sure.
I'm sure when you do like a search engine or something, if you put in like keywords and trigger word, like I'm trying to get better with that, but just like everything, you gradually get better as you go through this, right? So hopefully that would help people when they're searching for things to find those keywords. And yeah, that makes a big difference with the podcast title, it's something as simple as that,
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, the more you do it, you learn about the little things that help make your stuff more discoverable in the digital realm, like all the tags and searchable stuff.
Yeah. It's overwhelming for a Gen Xer like me, man. I can't navigate these waters with
Dude, I've got to think it's got to be overwhelming for anybody just trying to keep up with all this shit. Just all the information. I mean, how many freaking reptile podcasts out there are there? And how many of them are bad? Very few. They don't last if they're bad. That's just the nature of the game.
Yeah.
Like, there's so freaking many podcasts out there. Like, I can't even keep up with it. I finally got AirPods, these used AirPods, so I can listen to stuff at work more. And dude, I'm just like chugging through podcasts, and there's like no end to it, man. And it's just, I mean, I'm buying books left and right. I'm reading dude, I can't even imagine starting right now with my like collect them all complex and everything. I would have a freaking panic attack. I'd be like, where do I start? Where do I start? I just like seize up and Python down. He woke up, huh, Lucas?
He woke up. Yeah, he crawled out and went.
Mine went to bed.
Did that thing grow already? Or
probably.
Yo, blackthroats grow when they're little.
They grow.
Blackthroats grow. Lucas, if you feed that thing,
last time it was like this big.
Dude, Lucas, if you feed that thing like wet dog food and rodents and bugs on a daily basis, that thing will double in size in 6 months.
No, I know. Yeah, I've been feeding it silver sides, mice, quail, and large
button quail too. Yeah.
How different are they from the Ackies?
Oh, not even close. Like a completely different beast.
The Ackies are like full throttle. These guys are always in like second gear.
Excuse me. Yeah, much more slow and easy going. Like doesn't mind just curling up and falling asleep on my lap. Like,
right.
And Aki doesn't really sit still except to like get on top of something and go
right.
Like until and then like jump like.
Ackies are like crackheads.
Yeah.
Rock monitors are potheads. When there's food around, they're gonna move real fast. Otherwise, they just want to sit and veg.
Like this lizard, I'm just taken aback. Like I will literally like rub its face and it will close its eyes and just be like,
I'm assuming that's an import.
Yeah,
that's fucking great for an import, man.
Well, that's the thing. 4 or 5 little babies came into work, a couple months ago. So I've been working with them for a couple
months ago, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the first wave for the new calendar year. You know what I found?
Maybe like a month and a half.
This is like a little side tangent. I found when the calendar year resets and the new quotas for import and export are now back down to 0. If you get in the first wave of something, chances are that's going to be the best caliber for the entire year. The first wave of imports. I see it in Euromastic. Yep. I see it in Euromastics. I see it in all the monitors, frogs as well. If you get them first or second batch, like as early as possible in the year for them being brought in, you won't find better that year. The rest of the year, they start going downhill. You get to the bottom of the barrel, so to speak. And
it was interesting though, because we cohabbed them at first and they were all really nasty, nippy little things. They all bit me. This one bit me.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as they got big enough, we separated them and gave them each, a decent little space for themselves. The disposition completely changed. And
interesting.
This one is just so inquisitive and I've always been afraid of like calling a reptile affectionate, but it is like I don't know. It's
well, you've seen Rudy.
We've been recording for an hour. This thing was asleep in my pocket and just came out to get rubs on the face.
Well, you want your mind to be blown, man. You got to read that book. I'm telling you.
Well, I've read a lot of Burkhardt.
The Secret Social Lives.
I feel like that's one of Zach's favorite to assign.
You know, I have to reorder that. I ordered it and then they like bounced it back saying something wasn't fulfilled. I'm gonna go reorder that.
And Riley, you're right. Rudy is another one of those lizards that,
dude, like, you reach in under her chest and she'll like lean into it for more.
You can't
like,
tell me that she doesn't enjoy that.
Yeah,
yeah. They talk about things just like that. You know, I think the thing that blew me away, and we talked about this on the show, is like, but like you don't think that reptiles take care of their young, but like there's actual pictures of this female crocodilian
sure do
a head of a pig in its mouth as the babies are just eating off of the thing, you know, and it's just like
they'll like ferry them around too for a period of time. Like
hop on my back. They like kind of like hopped on their back, or sometimes they'll carry them in their mouth from the nest to the water or stuff like that. But like, I don't know, man, that just seemed like next level. And then the fact that like with rattlesnakes, the males like are like by the nest, and I love how they do the book, because they're sort of saying like, you know, it's just sort of saying like, we don't know if this is actually what's happening, but there's very strong evidence that this appears, and more study needs to be done. So it's sort of like it's like you're at the beginning of a whole new understanding of how reptiles work,
because it's like, all in the definitions. Like, ask somebody to tell you what it means for a reptile to play. That's a tough question to answer.
Right.
And you know, everybody will have a different answer. So you can't ask them, you know, are you having fun? You playing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just made me think of so many things of like problems that we have, or these unanswered questions that we have in the hobby as we deal with these animals in captivity. And like, we're so pigeonholed into our ideas of what reptiles are that we can't even like take a second to sort of take a step back and look at it from a different perspective and see like, well, maybe there's something else going on here, you know? And I'm excited for the next like level of research that'll be done with reptiles, and you know, in the wild and in captivity.
Yeah,
it's pretty freaking badass. So
yeah,
I love Nelson. A broken record with that with that book, Nelson. Where'd he go? Nelson. Back in your pocket?
No, he's just sitting on my lap.
Oh, there you go. Okay, fair enough.
I wonder if he's gonna like just become a little speed demon monster this summer when things heat up and full.
So that's what I was wondering about, is like when I got him up to temp, you know, I have like 140-degree hotspot if he wants it, and ambient, you know, in the 80s and 90s. Same lizard, didn't change at all with heat. He's not cold right now. It's like 86 degrees in here.
Nice.
So, yeah.
And you're wearing a hoodie.
Oh man, I'm sweating, but I wanted to give him his nap time. Guys, I'm a lizard dad now.
Oh, that's funny.
If Owen was here, I'd be in so much shit.
Yeah, I saw this article too, and they talked about this in the book.
That's cool.
I think it was an African rock python that
there's I sent in the chat too, kind of off topic, but speaking of snakes and academic journal articles, there's a preprint. Some folks actually took the time to publish what's going on with morph related neurological issues. So that was interesting.
Kidding.
Yeah. I could pull it up here if you give me a moment, but you know, it's always rare that somebody takes the time to study a hobby issue in an academic setting. So they say spider morph ball pythons are frequently bred designer snakes with striking alterations of color pattern, yada, yada, yada. A link between artificially selected alterations in pattern and specific color designs with neural crest associated developmental malformations of the statoacoustic organ as known from other vertebrates is discussed. So it's a malformation of the sacculus and the semicircular canals that results from that morph.
Huh. And it results in a jacked up snake.
I would assume it's the same mechanism for Jag.
Probably. I would assume so as well. Yeah.
So literally like physiological, balance issues, inner ear kind of stuff. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Which like we knew, but it's cool to see it in a paper.
Right. Did they is it do they have any idea of how it affects the snake other than the obvious signs? But like, is that argument that how am I trying to say it? The argument like, oh, well, it still eats and it still breeds and it still climbs on its stick and it's still, is that a fair argument? Or
my first pass, I don't think they really went into any of the morality, ethic considerations. More just talking about the mechanisms.
So what's going on? I gotcha.
Yeah, it's a pretty long paper though. I need to give it another look.
Well, if you can't give it a pass, I can't give it a pass.
I mean, it's not that bad. I just busy. They just say basically deviant morphology of the inner ear all resulted in wobble condition.
Yeah. Like, I mean, well, I guess if people have that same problem, I'm trying to think how. Constant vertigo. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for.
Vertigo. Yeah. But anyway.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. Interesting. They have a lot of those genes in ball pythons, more than I thought.
So many freaking genes.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
I mean, the ones that are like the Jag gene.
Yeah.
At least we only have the one.
Right. Yeah. It is interesting. It seems like
Powerball, Spider Ball.
Things that alter pattern always seem to be more problematic than things that alter pigment.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
I wonder why that is. Is there any thoughts on why that is?
I bet Travis Wyman would have a great answer to that. And I feel like he's talked about it on THP, but I can't parrot it. I don't remember.
He'll probably message us in a few days.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that you're probably right. I have heard him talk about things like that, but I would just wonder like what would be I guess, is that why it's easier to change color faster than it is pattern?
I don't know.
Just overall.
I mean, we're talking about,
it's harder to get, say bands or stripes or whatever, as opposed to just brighter color. That seems to happen faster. No,
I think yes, in terms of like a polymorphic, like selective breeding situation. But I think what I'm remembering Travis saying is something like the genes that code for pattern tend to be located on the same allele. Is that the word? I don't know. The same gene twig as things for like neurological development and I don't know, like important.
He just threw his bacon,
I'm trying.
He threw his bacon maple scones across the room. Like, how dare you?
They're not. They're not on their own.
Bakes?
Yeah. Throw a cupcake at my head. They're linked. There's multiple things coded on each gene twig. So
right.
I don't know what I'm talking about, but
no, you're doing good, man. I
think there was something about how the melanin producing whatever genetic component controls the melanin production is at the same part of the DNA sequence as the
pigment.
Yeah, something about
or not pigment, neurological stuff.
Yeah, something about the melanin production being tied to that.
I've heard Nick say that. It sounds familiar.
We'll go with that.
Yeah. This is above my pay grade.
Yeah.
I like reptiles.
That's my pay grade.
Yep. I need more inlands and some diamonds.
How about those inlands? I'll have to send you a picture of it, Riley, but in the chat, Darren got these locality inlands that were, he's in Australia, so obviously they're probably way more legit. Beautiful. Oh my God, beautiful. But they're having the same problem, right? Where I guess the morph craze has sort of swept through things, and like those lines are sort of.
It's hard for them to get pure stuff over there right here.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're like some of those lines that have been established for a long, long time are sort of starting to disappear.
Wow. That's too bad. Can't let that happen.
Yeah. How will we ever get them?
I know.
What the hell? We haven't got a chance yet.
There was a stonewash. Did you see this, Mr. Bradley? That the stonewash popped up in Australia?
Oh,
nice. You see that video?
That's not surprising.
No.
That damn thing popped up everywhere. It popped up in the hypo. It popped up in the LASIK.
Yeah.
That's cool.
One of the guys, his what's his YouTube channel? His name is Mitch. I know he's friends with Nick and Chris Salemi, but his YouTube channel, because this is his first video, so I'll give him a shout out since we are always trying to find the
shout out Mitch.
Good videos, YouTube channels. It is of course now I can't find it. It's got a big Bradley on the thumbnail. What the hell? There it is. Snake Sanctum is
sounds familiar. Might follow them on Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, real cool guy. And then I don't know if you guys ever watched that Cold-Blooded Cousins. They're sort of a team that go to Australia. They sort of travel around and whatnot. They put a pretty cool video out on saltwater crocs.
Oh, cool.
Neat.
I guess they're up in Queensland now, so they get to go and check them out. So
the lizard has fallen asleep on my thigh. You'll all be happy to hear.
I think I'm about to fall asleep on my thigh.
Yes.
It's been a long week.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I feel that.
Yep.
Jameson was not kind to my body.
No.
I'm getting old. I'm not built for that anymore.
I think it's like we were just talking about this the other day. It's like you're some people it's 28, some people it's 30, some people it's 32. But like you get to this point where you're like, I've had enough of this debauchery. I'm done with this drinking every night, and going to work while I'm still drunk. Can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And then some people never do that, and then they become problem people.
Yes. I did since you're here, Lucas, you'll appreciate. Well, yeah, Riley, you're into music too, but we missed that 1 week of NPR because I was at the Dream Theater concert. Holy hell, that guy can play guitar. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
so good.
John Petrucci. Oh, gee, I didn't think he could get better. Dream Theater is like one of those bands. It's like they played like a lot of new stuff, and I really didn't know it too much. I kind of lost. I was a huge fan of them, but when Portnoy left, I always feel like when you have a band and the original lineup is changed, you lose something.
100%.
Even if they're still play the same or play as good or whatever, it's not the same. And like to see it where Mike Portnoy wasn't there, I don't know, just sort of. Was like, they were okay, but
I feel it.
Amazing guitar. And I think his name is John Mayung. Is he the bass player? That dude is just solid, man. Jesus, he just plays his ass off during, like he never stops. Just
that's tight.
Boom, boom, boom,
yeah.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. So
that's how I felt about Corpse Grinder, the singer of Cannibal Corpse. It just doesn't stop. I'm like, how do you survive? You must have like neck therapy every day for the amount of headbanging. Like his neck is like
that is an art form to be able to
and he's
do
just
that.
like all day, like all night, all tour. I'm just like, bro, I did it for an hour and I need to sit down.
I was watching these people. I don't know what band it was, but they were older guys, and they were all like, like older than me, and they were like, "Yeah, I can't even hate bang anymore, man. Like this is shit. Being a musician is shit, man." I guess like guitar players, their hips, something happens with their hips. I guess from like having the guitar all the time, but like
too much power stance.
He like lost the exactly, the Zach Wilde stance.
Those dudes are gnarly.
The yellow Ibanez, the Steve Vai gem back there.
Right there. I've seen a couple people on TikTok playing like pearl white ones with a pearl. The pearl pick pad or whatever it is. It's just white. Oh, I think it's just beautiful.
Yeah.
This guy was playing out in front of his auto insurance company. He was all pissed off, so they dropped him from his insurance. So he goes out there with an amp and the white Steve Vai. He's just shredding out in front of their office. He's got a sign that says "Western Insurance Unit sucks." Like,
dude, musicians today are just, oh my god, are they off the chain talented? Holy
so good.
Shit! I think the one thing that I see all the time that I hear is that they don't know how to play with people, though. Because they're so used to just playing by themselves on, TikTok or YouTube or whatever.
Noodling.
Yeah, you got to jam.
But wow, holy shit! I don't know, gents. What are you thinking?
I think we're all a little tired.
Yeah.
We apologize for our lack of enthusiasm tonight about carpets or coffee.
I mean, hey, I'm enthusiastic. I'm just
tired.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm watching one of my snake shed right now. That's cool.
Don't peel it off. You'll cause it extraordinary pain. I read that on Twitter.
It's one of the one of those farm hatched animals from Dan Malary.
Oh, okay, cool.
She's having a shed. I was wondering. I was like, you should probably. I'll give you a rat today, even though you're in shed. You'll probably eat. And here she's shedding. I'm like, cool. You're gonna eat.
Oh, I made that Zoopoxy.
How'd that go?
Nice.
Pretended to know what I was doing and carved some foam and slapped that Zoopoxy by Polygem on the back. It was fun.
Nice.
It's messy, but it's fun.
Yeah. I need to do another build, man. I have one of those like foam cutting hot wire carving kits and things that I bought and never use it. Need to do another cage build.
Yeah,
me too.
That stuff though, I'll tell you what, Mike wasn't kidding. When it cures, it's
rock hard.
Solid.
Yeah.
Solid and not too heavy. My paint job is pretty bad though. I am not an artist.
I think that's kind of key, right? That's to make it look realistic. Is like some people are so freaking talented when it comes
with
to
the
that,
pigments, because you got to like mix things and make it right. Like nobody sells a stock color that's exactly what you want.
Yeah. I've decided that the problem with things like this is like I procrastinate so long because I want it to be perfect and not realizing that the first time that I do it is not going to be perfect. And I have a hard time accepting that. So I don't do it at all. Yep. So it's like, nah, I'm not going to do it.
Have you done a Zoopoxy thing? I thought you told me you got some.
I did a little bit. I kind of messed with it. But I didn't do like a cage build, but I did buy, an Aki that like an adult enclosure. What is it? Like
cool.
5 by 3 by 2, maybe something like that.
Nice.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, it's a big one,
I think for the next one that I do, maybe like adult cage for Kimberly Rock or something, I'm going to try to, instead of using the spray foam, I'm going to try to texture with like just bending and mounting chicken wire and then filling the chicken wire with the spray foam to give it some integrity. But you can really get good ledges with like bending mesh, like chain link chicken wire kind of thing, and then layer that with the Zoopoxy.
Yeah, so if you go on to the Facebook group, so the Zoopoxy Facebook group, a lot of them they've made like they made like branches and stuff doing that. They'll make like chicken wire. They'll shape it into the branch. They fill it with the foam and then they cover it over and paint it. And make it look like a stick.
Yeah.
You know,
I have to check out that page.
Yeah, you'll get some cool ideas there for sure. Although, as much as I love the background, the rock background and all, I don't know if he's released this yet because I'm one of his Patreon people, so I see videos ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
But Beach of Scaly Beast did the pictures that he took from his trip to the Northern Territory, which I guess we should shout out him real quick, those guys. But and he just somehow he made them. I want to say they're like it's like some kind of metal or something that the picture is imprinted on, and it looks like you're looking into Australia.
That's amazing.
That's wild.
Yeah. So especially he used them for. I want to say he used them for like the Gillens, and probably like I was thinking about that with the Strophuris stuff. Like when I get that eventually, I would think it would probably look a lot cooler. Because they don't really use like rock ledges per se, because they're usually hanging out on sticks and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like to me, that would be a speed. Like obviously, like Kimberly Rocks or Ackies or something like that, where they want to crush into the wall.
And the
you
crevices.
probably want that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But with some of them, you don't. But man, it looked fabulous. And I know Phil Wolf, he's doing that with his like all his cages of. He's into African species. And he's done that. But like, I guess if like I think of all the pictures that I've taken of habitat in Australia and just get that blown up, just remember your trip as you're watching your favorite animal do whatever it's doing.
That'd be super cool.
That would be. You could definitely do a termite mound, Ian. You could, if you did like a network of connected PVC piping and then just piled around it. I mean, you wouldn't be able to get the animal out, but it'd be cool.
I think Luke did this. I want to say it was Luke.
Plastic.
He took a flower pot.
Plastic flower pot and did a bunch of spray foam around it and terracotta painted it. Yep.
Well, there you go.
It was beautiful.
If you want it to be
beautiful,
like a hide, you could definitely do it that way.
Yeah, he cut holes in it, and he just used the foam on top and let it drip down, so it kind of had this natural flow and texture down. Didn't even carve at any of it; just left it all this drippy, sort of like cascade effect. Let it harden,
badass.
And then the terracotta paint matched the red sand perfectly, and then it was just this light, hard, beautiful thing. It was great. I remembered that very, very clearly.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go look at Beach of Scaly Beast. It's on there somewhere. I think me and Riley were looking at that at the same time and like, did you see this? What the hell? This is amazing.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Speaking of pygmy pythons. I should be getting some from Mr. Julander.
Yeah.
Now
tiny
that the
little
weather's
things
starting to change. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to breed them.
Oh man. Yeah, Antaresia. They're so cool, but damn it, that one season of children's babies really was just like I'm good off that.
Yeah. The one I got from you is doing great. Yeah.
Nice.
Doing real good.
Yeah.
I should probably breed them next year, I think.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe one day I'll get back into them as if we get a few generations in and they're like, yeah, they all eat pinkies now. I'm like, oh. Well, shit, I'll take 3 of each, please.
Yeah. I know my wheat belts that I got from Justin they're
those are sweet.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're nice.
Yeah,
I love the look of them.
I see some spotteds over at Alan's place when I'm there, and he's got pygmies too, and they're really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. Fat little bugger.
Well, I fed him earlier.
Yeah.
He's pretty good about not plastering me in poop.
He seems pretty chill.
He's so chill.
I'm so glad our female lace monitor stopped doing that. Every time I'd pick her up, just like somebody poured a cup of melted ice cream on me.
Lacey's, man. Holy shit.
They're the best.
What
dude.
an awesome species.
They're the best.
You need.
Yeah.
They're
cool.
So where do they fall? Are Lacey's bigger than blackthroats?
No.
Okay.
No. Nowhere near as heavy and girthy, and probably even a bit shorter in length by maybe like a foot or so overall, tip to tail. But I mean, think of laces as like an arboreally built water monitor that's slightly smaller than your typical mainland water monitors. Like,
okay,
like ours are still growing, and I would say snout to vent, they're both probably 2 feet long, 20 to 24 inches snout to vent with tail, probably about 3.5 feet right now, and they're still growing. So.
And what's their setup like? You have a cage that's what's like the dimensions of something.
They have like
the pair together.
They have a whole
Yeah.
room.
It's huge, right?
Yeah, it's a full walk-in.
Yeah.
It's, if I had to rattle off guesses on the dimensions, I'd say it's probably 6 foot wide by 10 feet tall by
Holy shit. Okay.
Yeah.
10 feet deep or more, 15 feet, 12 feet deep. Yeah, maybe 12 feet, something like that. But yeah, it's big. I mean, 100-gallon pool, rock, stuff that goes all the way up, ledges all the way up. They can go climb way out of reach, like if they go all the way up and lay on the light box up there, I have to climb on top of the pool and a ledge to reach up there and grab them.
Wow.
So that's where the female stays. She's like, if you're going to get me, you're going to have to work your ass off to get me.
Yeah. Are they somewhat chill?
They are chill. I've never had them ever try and bite me. They were
the shit out of you.
Yeah, they fucking destroyed my arms. I've got to get those gloves that Dan Valeri has for the cobras that go all the way up to here, because these things, they just get the bottom of this glove right here and just go right under it. And they're just not pleasant at this size anymore. But they're just twitchy. They just react. They're very twitchy. Like, don't touch me. What's that? If they can't see the point of contact making on them, they freak out.
Really?
And then once you earn some trust, then you can kind of reduce that. So like the male, I can go right up to, hand under his chin, pet him, touch his chest. If I'm too fast or like too much pressure initially, he'll kind of be like, what the hell? But if I just kind of casually go in, he's good. The female, I can do a little bit, but as soon as I touch her, she's like, nah, get away from me, hissing, curling her tail. She'll whip me, but they will not bite. They will not bite. I don't know if that's just them two or the species as a whole is rather reluctant, but I mean, I'm sure it's not impossible. But yeah, they'd rather just take off. I think part of that is because they have so much room and have always had so much room, and I've never really crossed a line with them. So
did you get them when they were small?
I think they were probably less than a foot snout to vent when we first brought them in at the old shop, because my boss has had them for like 2.5-3 years now almost.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say
froze mid yawn. He's like,
I'm frozen.
You were for a sec.
You were froze like this.
Oops. The dog wants to eat Nelson.
Uh-oh, that's a problem.
That's not going to last long. Nelson's going to eat that dog.
Yes.
Yeah. Look at him. He's all jealous.
Yeah.
You're fine.
He's like, I don't know about that.
He's like, that's a weird looking dog.
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that dog?
No.
All right.
I guess we're wrapping it up now.
I guess so.
Yeah. I got a bunch of feeding to do tonight. It's big feeding day around here.
These big feet.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. If you want to get in touch with us, info@MoreliaPython.radio. Check out the website. Blogs are coming. Podcasts are coming. Gecko Radio is out. Yeah. That's all I got.
Teespring store.
Yeah.
www.centralianexotics.com. My website is not updated. If you want one of the last Brettles, just send me an email.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Websites are so much work to keep up with. Kudos to everybody who does that. I do not.
There's only one person that keeps up with their website in the entire reptile hobby, and that is
it's
Mr.
Nick Mutton.
Yep.
What do you
Not
mean?
me.
Is it still available? Of course it's still available.
If it's on the website, it's
on my
available.
What's wrong with you? I must crush your head.
Don't hurt me. I'm sorry. For me, I'm just, stuff in places. Sorry.
It's only episode 53.
Somebody
You're
just
not
hit the
allowed
lights.
to be that
They just
over
hit the
it.
light switch on my brain right there. Oh, I finally got off my ass and filmed a YouTube video for tomorrow. I've skipped the last 2 weeks because I've been busy, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Gonna show off some citrus tigers in the sunlight tomorrow a little bit.
Ooh.
Oh,
that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, and I think I might be okay with selling 1 or 2 of them soon. So if anybody's been chomping at the bit for a male albino or caramel albino citrus tiger, now's your chance. Or I'll just keep them all. You know how it goes. But I shouldn't keep them all. I don't need 4 of them as much as I like all 4 of them.
Spread the citrusy goodness into the world.
Yeah, I hit up Chris at Heli Guy, and he's like, "Oh man, I spent too much money this year." I'm like, so, Chris,
when has that ever stopped a reptile keeper ever?
I'll just hit him up after 9 p.m. after I've had a few drinks. You know how I roll. Spend some people's money. No, but otherwise, yeah, YouTube, getting back on track with that, and then lots hatching this year, and all the social media is just Riley's Reptiles, and my YouTube is just Riley Jimison. So yeah, that's it.
Woo, cool.
Yes,
You did it.
Podcast.
All right.
Ow.
Noun.